watched a YouTube video before I came here about like comp strategies and
me too.
OTEV and stockpiling.
Was it the one about shaking the egg?
Yep,
with
yep,
that
yep,
one, and when Derek X started from the bottom.
Yep,
Rather than
yep,
top. Yeah, I watched that video.
And it's so funny. People are like, no one does the stockpile, or like they try and it doesn't work. It's like it worked.
It worked. It worked.
Michael's and Brittany's internet. My name is Peridiam, and damn have I never been prouder. So in the spirit of just that, let's keep the ball rolling and talk about 5 more times Big Brother players hacked competitions.
Jasmine was horrible at it. Like horrible. She only stayed, I think, that last round.
Did you think of that YouTube video that we watched about the stay strategy?
Yep.
Yeah.
The first hack on this list is from Michael on Big Brother 24. As if the top of the video wasn't spoiling enough, a big part of the reason I wanted to make this video was because of Michael watching my video and then pulling off the recommended strategy. I talked about this strategy in a previous video, which I will link in the description, but in the iconic OTEV competition, which is veto backwards for those who missed the memo, players have to race against their competitors to find the right answers to a question. It's kind of like musical chairs. Or something.
OTEV is basically like a game of musical chairs.
It's a whole lot like a game of musical chairs.
It's kind of like a game of musical chairs.
Musical chairs. Musical chairs.
Musical chairs.
Last person to find the correct answer is eliminated. I recommended the ideal strategy was to create a stash of answers somewhere on the course in the first round when you have the most time, because that's when the max number of players are in the game, and then go back to your stash every round and quickly grab the next right answer. The trickiest part of OTEV is finding the right answer. Most players get tripped up flipping over the same answers repeatedly, wasting time. But if you create a stash of unique answers early in the comp, you don't have to waste time. Just slide down the ramp, beeline to your stash, and grab the right one. This strategy slowly evolved over the years, from Austin unintentionally doing it in BB17 to Kat attempting to pull it off in BB21 to now Michael successfully using it in BB24. Michael, in the event you ever watch this, obviously not anytime soon, I just want to say, you did me proud.
I mean, what's one more veto win in the grand scheme of things? The important thing about each round isn't about coming in first, it's about not coming in last. So once I find the correct answer, I'm gonna take some extra time to build up my stockpile to help me for future rounds. Luckily, I've got my handy stockpile. Now it's time to claim the veto.
You have won the golden power of veto.
I've now officially won all 4 vetoes I've competed in, and I should probably stop winning before I become too big of a threat.
I should also quickly talk about what Brittany was talking about in the live feed clip at the top of this video. When her and Michael competed in the stay and fold competition where they had to guess the amount of items in front of them, the easy strategy to win this comp is not just to guess the correct answer, obviously, but to make sure that if you're working with a group of people, that one of you is always going for the answer and not folding. That way you're forcing your competition to have to play and always have a 50% chance of getting eliminated every round.
Just like according to plan, everyone folds, but Frankie and Donnie stay.
The strangest thing happens. Everyone folds except Cody. Bingo, the plan is back on. Cody's our man.
Brittany, you are the only player that stayed, which means you get a letter.
So everyone else folds. I guess it worked.
Okay, for this next hack, you better grab a blindfold because we're in the dark. This comp is called the Black Box, and it's a recurring comp that we've seen quite a lot. The comp itself had the players divided into lanes with a massive black box. It was pitch black inside, and they had to keep their hand on a button in the dark. If they let go of the button, they were eliminated. Every 20 minutes or so, the players were allowed to let go of their button and search around their lane for small discs. They would then transport the disc back to the button where they would slide the disc down a pole. They could grab as many discs as they could find, but some of the discs were dummies. They didn't count. They were meant to trick the players into wasting time. You would find a disc, you would go back to your pole, and then discover the disc didn't fit. The players were only given a short amount of time to search for these discs, and if they did not get back to the button within a certain period, they would be eliminated. They would only get to search about 5 or so times over the span of 2 hours, so it was a lot of waiting around. It was a competition testing endurance and speed in the dark, and the creative strategy here was pulled off by Corey. Simply put, when Corey was searching for the discs, any discs that he would find, he would toss back toward his button. Instead of collecting the discs and holding on to them, he would place them closer to the button where he would eventually be resting for a little while anyway. Then, when he was forced to race back to hold his button, while he was standing there waiting for the next search period, he would use his arms to scan the area in the dark to find the discs nearby. He would then place those discs on his pole, rinse and repeat for each round. This strategy allowed him to save time while searching because he realized that he didn't have nearly as much time searching as he did, standing there holding the button. Whereas Paul and Nicole collected 5 discs by the end of the comp, Corey managed to collect 10. He doubled their result. However, that said, he actually didn't win the comp as Natalie also found 10. And unfortunately, I'm not sure what she did other than just go fast or get lucky. But she beat Corey by about 4 seconds, so I like to think that she did something similar even though she never acknowledged it.
Natalie says she has a lot of discs, but I don't know who's lying at this point. I need to get more discs because I can't take any chances. I am stopping at nothing to win this competition. While everyone around me is chit-chatting during the endurance part of this comp, I'm gonna use my long arms and legs while we're holding the buttons down and start pulling in discs around me.
I literally got all decoys. That's it? Mm-hmm.
5. 5 discs.
5.
Corey, how many discs did you collect?
10.
Wow!
Oh!
10.
Oh! Natalie, you brought your disc back at the 1 hour, 57 minute, 50-second mark. Corey, you brought your disc back at the 1 hour, 57 minute, 54-second mark.
For the third hack, it doesn't take a Mensa member to figure out this strategy. Although, in this case, it did take a Jensa member. Jen Johnson, Big Brother 8. Yeah, she's making her way into a hack video. I could not be happier to talk about her here. What did Jen do? Well, she basically took advantage of the rules for this veto comp to ensure either she won it or the only other player in the comp who would use it on her would win it, that being Jamika. Before the competition, Jamika had her name drawn out of the veto bag by Jen, and Jamika took that as a sign that she was supposed to play for Jen. As in, if she were to win the veto, she would use it on Jen. She promised she would do that, and Jamika was good for her word. We head to the competition, and this one involved bad art and some fancy wordplay. An image would appear on the screen, and the first player to buzz in and correctly guess what the image was trying to say would get points. But if the player got it wrong, they would be eliminated, and everyone would move on to the next image. In other words, there could only ever be one guess per round. If someone got it wrong, another player couldn't just buzz in and have a go. Knowing this, Jen found herself in the final round alongside Jamika and a few other players. Jamika was in first place, but because the last round was worth a lot of points, if anyone got it right, they would surpass Jamika and win the veto. Jen couldn't have that happen. So right when the last image popped up, Jen buzzed in. Jen applied her genius deduction skills and threw out the word safety. Everyone laughed at her, but little did they realize Jen was about to have the last laugh. Because the answer wasn't safety, Jen got it wrong, which meant, by default, Jamika now won the power of veto. It's a brilliant strategy that nobody else in the comp thought up until it was too late. And the best part about all of this is that once the other players realized what Jen did, they got real mad. Imagine getting outplayed by a Jensa member. Underrated strategist, I tell ya.
With one question remaining, Jamika is in the lead with 2,000 Big Brother bucks. This next question will be worth 2,000 Big Brother bucks. Jen.
Safety.
The correct answer was the power is up for grabs. Jamika, you have won the power of veto.
I was happy to have Jamika win the power of veto, and she told me and everyone in the house that if she won it, she would use the power of veto on me.
I gotta carry out what I committed to.
You're not gonna take her off the block, are you?
I am. I gave her my word.
Jen whipped ass in that competition. She's my idol.
This fourth creative strategy is actually from a Canadian season of Big Brother, so if you don't want to be spoiled on the season in any way, just feel free to skip ahead. It is from season 4. I should say it is one of my favorite strategic moments from any competition that I've talked about ever, and I had to include it. Apologies if you have never seen Big Brother Canada. Not that I'm getting paid to say this or sponsored. It is available on Paramount Plus for those in the US, so what are you waiting for?
Peridium.
This comp had a lot of moving parts to it, but to get to the point, it saw the players betting on each other over small games like tossing a ball in Connect 4 or throwing cards into a hat or playing roulette. Literally just gambling on roulette. 2 players would go head to head and the rest of the players would watch and bet on who they thought would win the duel. If they got it right, they would earn points. If they got it wrong, they would get nothing. Also, for players competing in the duel, if they won, they would get points, obviously, and if they didn't win, they would still get points for just competing. Jared was first brought into a duel against Ramsey to see if he could throw the most cards into the oversized hat. Jared was a force to be reckoned with and managed to win the duel, landing every card. When the other players revealed who they bet on, it turned out that none of them bet on Jared, meaning Jared scored 3 points for winning the duel, Ramsey scored 1 for competing, and everyone else scored 0 for getting their bet wrong. And now it was Jared's turn to duel someone. He chose Nick, and he decided to play in the card-throwing duel again. Everyone else then placed their bet. Jared or Nick? Who's gonna win? And this is where the magic happened. Jared, knowing he just demonstrated how good he was at this game, walked up to throw his first card, and instead threw the game. He threw every card onto the ground. Why? Because he didn't want to give everyone else the points. He figured, because everyone just saw him crush the game against Ramsey, they would probably bet on him this time to crush Nick. And he was right. Every single player bet on him, and none of them got any points. Again. Jared managed to maintain this points lead throughout the comp and went on to win the power of veto, largely thanks to a little maneuver such as this that saw him fake out his opponents to gain an edge.
Don't catch.
There you go.
Last shot.
Tiebreaker, baby.
8 for Jared.
I'm voting for Jared to win this because he has just won. He's got a good rhythm going with this. He's a sure bet.
Everyone just watched me win this game in the previous round. Money is that they're gonna bet on me again to win it. It's the perfect bluff.
Are you serious right now?
I want everyone betting to get 0 points.
I'm pissed that Jared is throwing this competition. I voted for him, and he's screwing me over. My chances of winning this veto have just about gone down the drain.
I chose Jared.
I was hoping for Jared, too.
Also Jared.
Mastermind Mitch fell for my trick. Hook, line, and sinker.
Jared's a mastermind.
Congratulations, Jared.
Thanks.
You've won the power of veto.
Appreciate it.
Yeehaw! I won this power veto. Hope I can make a big move this week.
Last, but definitely not least, let's talk about one of the more recent comps as of this video, and that's the iconic wall comp. I've made an entire video around this one comp, but I particularly avoided talking much about the strategy to win it until now. Because it needs to be said, even though it does help to be of a certain age or body type, being in good shape, probably having small feet, it doesn't hurt to also know that there are steps you can make, tactics you can take to increase your chance to stay up there and not fall off. Just like all of these other maneuvers, will they work every time? No, but in this case, it doesn't hurt. And I want to give credit to 2 players in particular for this one, the first being James from Big Brother 17 and 18. James competed in 3 iterations of the wall comp and won 2 of them and was the runner-up in the 3rd, only throwing it to Nicole so she could have it. Truth be told, I think James probably could have won that one as well, going 3 for 3. James's strategy was simple and remarkably effective. He crouched. That's it. James would lower his center of gravity, putting less weight on his upper body, allowing his muscles to relax. He was more focused in this position, sturdier. And after both seasons 17 and 18, we saw the players in Big Brother 19 copy him and do the exact same thing. And it worked just as well for them, all thanks to James.
Oh, man, the burn. It's intense. I don't know if I...
Right now I'm trying to play mind games with Clay. I don't care how much pain or coldness hits this body. All I know is they're gonna have to peel me off that wall because I ain't letting go.
Are you more comfortable like that, Nick? Yeah.
I'm just gun-ho wall comp. I like my wall comps.
And amusingly, the producers noticed this strategy, and so in Big Brother 20, they added a tiny block in between the players' legs to force them to stand up at all times. They could no longer crouch. You know you've done something well when the officials have to create new obstacles to work around your winning strategy. And yeah, this little block maintained its place going forward throughout Big Brother with every wall comp after this one, so players can no longer crouch. But I want to also highlight something else they can and should be doing going forward. Wear long sleeves. Always wear long sleeves. It doesn't have to be a thick jacket or hoodie, just something that will cover up your hands. While gloves are likely not allowed, long sleeves are. And guess what we saw in Big Brother 24? Taylor wore a hoodie for that wall comp because she knew going in that keeping your grip was one of the most important parts to staying up on the wall. When the producers shoot all that goo and paint and dump water on you, your hands start to slip and get tired faster. Using your sleeve to protect the inside of your hand, you can keep the most important part dry, readily able to grip for as long as possible. Be smart, minimize your luck, and demonstrate your skill at every opportunity. It doesn't hurt to do some research. Taylor did just that, and good for her. She won the competition.
When you get to the wall, you want to wear like a hoodie or a jacket or something, because when you get stuff on your arms, the jacket will stop it from sliding down and like messing with your grip.
You could have stayed on there longer too.
Yeah, I've read online before, and like former house guests online, they're like, when you start adjusting, that's when you get tripped up on those things, because the slime will get you. So I was like, I'm not moving.
The stakes cannot be higher here. I'm not gonna let go of this wall for anything. And this is finally a time where I can step up and finally show everybody nothing's gonna stop me. This is all mine, baby. I'm not letting go.
And that's gonna be 5 times Big Brother Players Hacked Competitions 4.0. As if covering this topic extensively for Survivor wasn't enough, I figured the Big Brother players deserve their dues too. So I'll ask you, in the audience, what do you think? Are there any other hacks or creative strategies you would want me to talk about in the future? I always enjoy the outwit portion of these shows, and hey, even in the cracks of competitions, you will find a fair bit of strategy. A big thank you to my patrons for holding on to that paywall long enough to be in this video. I joke, but I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to take notes for when you inevitably win your season of Big Brother in the future on your way out. And I will see you in the next one once I set the speedrun world record for fastest time. Off the wall. Butterbeans, I'm coming for you.
Jasmine fell off so fast, all I can imagine in her voice is her saying, I fell off quicker than a mudslide on a hot Mississippi day.
I try my best to stay up on that wall, but honey, my arms are feeling like fresh noodles in a pot.
I lost my shoe. My shoe is gone. Yo, my shoe is gone. I have one shoe on. Just lost my damn shoe. I lost both my shoes.
Dustin. Congratulations, Dustin. You have bought yourself $5,000 cash.
That greed came out, that selfishness, you know, and Jamaica could have took the $5,000, but she didn't.